Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Gavin, aka Coke, aka whatever you're gonna call me. It doesn't even matter at this point because it's 2020 and you still rocking with your boy. I am grateful, I am thankful, I appreciate you because in 2019, I got done busy, man. I got really busy and I'm grateful. Shout out to the man upstairs because climate change is real. Global warming is real. And it was super warm here, man. And I was out here grinding. I was out here getting it, hustling, trying to make this thing work. However, I was able to sit down with my wife and we were talking about 2020 and the things I wanted to accomplish. And she brought up a good point of like looking at some of the mistakes I made in 2019 and how could I better myself and help out other people. So that inspired this video, and I kind of want to go over mistakes that we all as a photography community, especially if you're a new photographer or a growing photographer, even if you experience full-time, whatever, it doesn't matter, things that we need to stop doing. So check these things out, tag your favorite photographer, and let's get started. But before we get started today, make sure you head over to Facebook right now. Look up the Paid and Exposure podcast. If you are a photographer or a videographer, make sure you go find the No More Pie Facebook group. We talk about everything from equipment to give you constructive criticism to everybody ask any questions you want. It's definitely fun, lighthearted, but join us. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into this podcast, all right? So the number one thing I noticed we gotta stop doing is spending so much time on YouTube. I know that sounds crazy. Somebody's like, oh, you want me to turn your video off? Please don't. Please watch this. I need all the watch times, the views, the likes. Don't dislike this video. Okay, now you just disliked it. You so disrespectful. The point is this. We got to get off of YouTube and get back in the lab. Somebody's saying, what does that mean? A lot of us spend so much time on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, and we're forgetting to practice. Nobody is practicing anymore, and it's showing up in our work, right? Because I can guarantee you're probably watching your favorite person, right? I watch Manny, I watch Jessica, Frono, Brandon. Sometimes I watch all of these guys. Their work is amazing, super cool, but what ends up happening is they show us some new techniques, and then we just get to our next shoot and we try it. And then we spend too much time with our client messing up, wondering why it's not working, why we're not doing better, and we're not growing. And so what you need to do is you need to practice. My suggestion, which I notice works, is you need to pick out 2 or 3 muses this year, reach out to them and get them on board to work with you for the full year. So someone is saying, how do I go about doing that? I suggest reaching out to 10, probably 7 to 10 models. It sounds like a lot, but you understand why. And reach out to them and say, hey, I'm a photographer, I'm growing, I would love to work with you for the full year. I will supply you with photo shoots, things to help grow your portfolio, or if you just want to buy them photos, and see what they say. So somebody saying, all right, you say work with 2 or 3, but you telling me to reach out to 10. Yeah, it makes sense. Out of those 10, some is not going to respond to you. They either not going to see it or they just don't want to work with you. Totally fine. About 5 of them are going to say yes. Cool. If you've been shooting long enough, you know that muses, models, whatever you want to call them, they flake, bro. Like it's just, they flake. They ain't even no cute way of wrapping it up, trying to make us feel better about it. They will literally work with you a couple times and then you can't get in contact with them. For example, let me speak personally, let me be transparent. Every year I do this, I have not had one model make it through a full year with me. I'm gonna just keep it real. It happens. They have lives, they have families, they have jobs, they have things they want to do. They might get tired of just working with you. It happens. Some models are for everybody. I don't even know how else to clean it up. We have models in Charlotte who have been labeled as she models for everybody, he models for everybody. What does that mean? They don't care about the quality of work. They just jump from photographer to photographer, and what ends up happening is they get burnt out because they have to invest a lot into them being used up everywhere. This sounds so bad in the video, but it doesn't even matter because it's the truth. So what I suggest is you reach out to a couple, you work with 2 or 3, and you figure out, you're gonna learn slowly but surely what works best for you, right? So if you probably notice right now, your favorite YouTuber, when they usually do videos and they use models, they're using the same models throughout the year, right? They might only have them in 5 videos, but you notice like they might do it every other month, or they do it, they work with a model for first quarter, then they got another model. You're gonna start noticing patterns. So I always suggest what you watch, talk to that model, create a deal with them. I always let models know like, hey, I'm going to give you free photos, but if you need something, I'm willing to do that for you for free also. So I had a model last year who we're probably at 8 months in. She might be the first one to make it to a year. But shout out to Alex is her name. She's super dope on IG. And she needed some headshots. And she hit me up and I was like, absolutely. Why? Because every time I see something cool and I wanna, I reach out to her and I say, hey, are you willing to work with me? She's like, hell yeah, let's go out there and get it. So excuse me. So definitely find you 2 or 3 models. Get the work, man. Get the practice. Get off of YouTube. Get off of Instagram. Stop looking at all these camera settings and trying to remember them when you on a shoot versus practice. So then when you are with the client, you don't spend 30 minutes tinkering around and you can get in there and get done and get out. Next thing I notice a lot of people don't do. A lot of people really don't have goals, which is sad. I think if you haven't done it already, I spent the last month and a half going on my goals. I have a board in there, a dry erase board, and I have 40 goals I want to accomplish in 2020. 40. And literally, it took time to go through those goals and say, hey, how do I accomplish this? How do I accomplish, getting to 85, which I have. This lens is bomb. It's a little slow, but it's bomb. But that thing does work. But saying, hey, how do I do that? How do I go to conferences? Where are the best conferences to go? What do I need to do? How do I get more weddings? How do I get, triple digit photo shoots this year? Whatever your thing is, you got to figure it out and you need to write out your goals. But take out the time and go through and create those steps and invest in yourself. One thing I notice a lot of people do with their goals, or they don't do, they don't even know their niche. They don't know what they want to do, what they don't like to do. And so what they're doing is they're just shooting blanks, hoping that something stick. That sounds depressing. Which brings to the next thing. When you're not prepared, stuff happens, right? Your clients don't care. Sorry to say, I'm in a bunch of photo groups. And I probably shouldn't say that because now you guys are going to be looking for me and seeing when I complain. Clients do not care. Stop crying, stop complaining about, hey, I spent $3,000 on my camera. My lens costs $1,500. My book bag is $300. My lights is $800 a piece. I don't know why clients don't want to book me. They want discounts. They want me to do stuff for free. Bro, they do not care. It's simple as that. When you have a wedding package, the average wedding package in Charlotte right now is $2,200. Don't ask me how I know that research. But the point is this. If you have a $2,500 package and somebody says, hey, I want it for $1,800, you have a choice. It's yes or no. You keep it moving. We got to stop crying, because when you're crying, clients are seeing that on your story. They're seeing it on your Facebook, and they don't want to work with you because you're emotional. They're automatically assuming that you're emotional. And they're just like, hey, I'd rather go work with somebody who looks like they have everything together. Clients literally do not care how much your gear costs. They want to know, do you got dope work? Is the price within their budget? Or whatever. When I have clients all the time, hey, can I get this? Do you have this discount? Sometimes I do run specials. I'm not going to lie. A lot of times I don't. So when you hit me up and say, hey, do you got a special? No. Next. I don't have time to get on Facebook complaining. Now, somebody out there is saying, bro, I follow you on Instagram. You do be talking. I talk trash. I don't complain. I think it's funny. A lot of things I find funny, but I don't have time to literally soak in the bitching and moaning. Nobody cares. Let's just go ahead and get that app out of there. Final thing. The mistake we got to stop doing in 2020, we got to stop being repetitive. Now, I am guilty of this, and I know it, and I got to stop, and I got to figure out new ways of getting there. You can't be working with the same model all the time. Somebody's saying, bro, you just told me to get 2 or 3 muses. You don't have to post every time you work with them. They have to serve a certain goal for you for practice. So that means when you practice with them and something's dope, maybe you post them. However, some of you guys only post you working with your muses. And what happens is clients want to know, well, do you work with anybody else? Do you work with different body types? Do you work with different skin tones? Do you work with different genders? People need to know these things. So you need to stop being repetitive. Also with locations, travel around, man. Spend some time in your car, driving around your city, driving around to the next city and saying, hey, is it new locations I can use? Get new gear. Whatever you used to do, take at least once a month and say, all right, I want to do something different. and I want to post it. I want to see if I can get good at it. So if you know you only shoot babies, maybe you only shoot them a certain style. I'm not going to tell you to jump into a different niche because it might be a waste of your time. But I do encourage you to try other genres of photography. However, but if you look at it and say, hey, I always shoot people outside, uptown, with bright lighting. I always edit airy. Why don't you go in there and say, hey, I want to go to a grungy part of town in harsh lighting with someone that's super dark skinned. Let's go and try to switch it up, because once you become repetitive, then people just label you as such, and they don't know that hey, you really do like to do other type of photography. So keep that in mind. I do want to share a goal with you guys. Some of my goals, and this is the last thing because it's pretty much over now. So some goals I definitely have for next year. I definitely want to go to some more photo conferences. I don't know where yet. Photo Plus may be an option, may not be, because you should go check out my last video. I have fun up there. I just want to see some different changes before I commit to going back to New York for that. But also, I really want to knock out 200 photo shoots for the whole year. Somebody's saying that's a lot. Somebody's saying that's not enough. I don't know. I'm shooting high, and we're going to land somewhere. Anyway, thank you for rocking with this video. Make sure you please go check me out on Instagram, because you're already on YouTube. Go check me on Facebook. Join the group. And I'm going to holler at y'all next time. All right.